Attleboro Community Television, North TV presents the high school baseball game of the week. Today from Tri-County Regional Technical Vocational High School in Franklin, it's the Bishop Conley Cougars taking on the Tri-County Cougars. Welcome everyone. Peter Gay along with the North TV crew. There is the starting pitcher for the Tri-County Cougars. TJ Dazzle will be throwing to RJ Kapala. So TJ and RJ, the battery for Tri-County, who enter this matchup with a 1-8 record. The Bishop Conley Cougars at 8-2 on the season. So on paper, at least a mismatch, but I was talking to Tri-County head coach Dave Wallace before this game, and he said, we lost to them earlier in the season. Yeah, we only have one victory on the season, but we are a much better team than we were earlier in the season. And when you look at this roster, you can see why. No seniors on this Tri-County team. They have 4 juniors. The rest are all sophomores. So as this season progresses, these players will gain that much more experience and might shock a couple of teams throughout the second half of the season. Dave Wallace hoping that's the case today against a very good Bishop Conley Cougar team. Del Malloy received a call yesterday that he was needed to fill in as a speaker at an NCAA conference. Del Malloy, very well respected in the realm of college athletics, so he is not here. Steve Houle is filling in this afternoon. Steve, Bishop Conley over the years has been known as a school with a great baseball program. Will be interesting to see them this afternoon.
Absolutely. It turns out to be a great day for baseball, and you come here and we saw these two teams play during basketball season, a lot of familiar faces, but you're right. Over the years, being from Fall River, drawing a lot of talented kids from that Fall River area and throughout that region, Bishop Conley's always been more than competitive in baseball and had a lot of great tournament runs. So it's going to be fun to watch this game today.
The umpires, the head coaches, going over the ground rules here at Tri-County's baseball field. As a matter of fact, the head coach this afternoon for Bishop Conley is the assistant coach. Longtime head coach Don Schwanard could not be here this afternoon, so Derek Viveros is filling in today, shaking hands with Dave Wallace and the 2 umpires as we get ready to do battle. First of all, Steve, I was absolutely shocked when Chris Miller told me at about 12 o'clock this afternoon that he had spoken to the Tri-County officials, and yes, indeed, they would be playing baseball this afternoon. This field must drain well because we received a lot of water over the last few days.
Yeah, looking at it was much needed water, by the way, but you look at the forecast from yesterday and again this morning, and some areas reaching up of close to 2 inches of rain, and that wasn't even before we got for the rest of the morning and throughout the early afternoon. But boy, this field looks to be in great condition. Right around the bases, look like they did do a little bit of rake-up work as the kids got out from school early here, but I'm sure they're excited after being cramped up in school for a few days. They're doing some batting practice, throwing in the gym to get outside on what's turning out to be a beautiful night.
Actually, if I remember, Tri-County has indoor batting cage net.
That's right.
Remember, we've seen that. So they are actually able to do or conduct a nice little practice.
This Tri-County, great school, great athletic program. They do such a nice job. You look at the campus here and just, you see kids in the background. They're up there doing some sprints and just a lot of stuff going on here on campus with the football field in the background. School to our right. Well-designed school.
So we are about ready to go. Stepping into the batter's box is Ian Chaney. He is the starting pitcher for Bishop Conley. He will face TJ Dazzle. The 2 pitchers squaring off for the first at-bat in this game. Pitch taken outside corner for a strike, so a good start for Dazzle and Tri-County.
Yeah, the big lefty on the mound today. Be fun to see him throw a little bit. Great shot from the behind the plate.
Low and outside, 1-1 the count.
See that sun just breaks. See some shadows off the catcher and the umpire, and really not affecting the hitter at all.
Pitch high. So Dazzle, his first 3 pitches, 1 perfect, the next one too low, the next one too high. 2-1 the count. Ian Chaney, a junior. Ground ball, weakly hit. This could be trouble, and sure enough, it will.
Yeah,
base hit.
And it was weakly hit, but also that grass with the wet turf. I mean, it's still wet. I know the sun's breaking out here, but that was just hit enough, and the ball in a good position for the hitter to make good contact. Wasn't the best of contact overall, but very effective being on first base.
So Peter Lee, the center fielder, will now step into the box as Chaney takes a good lead off of first against the left-handed hurler. Lee showing bunt, lays it down. Strong throw over to first. They get the out. No one covering third. Heads up play by Chaney. He will not only get third, but on the errant throw will score. So Bishop Conley creating a run there, and a missed assignment by, and I mentioned this earlier, a very young Tri-County team.
Yeah, young team and good learning experience here. It's something the team will focus on. But once that bunt is laid down, sometimes you have your third and your first coming in and charging. Right there, first base really stayed home. You see a third base. The shortstop in the background, he has to be covering third base. And your second baseman, who's going to be in background, he's going to be covering second with the first man on first. So a little bit of a good opportunity by Bishop Conley. End result was a run. That's what you want to do, manufacture some runs.
It almost seems unfair to give the first baseman Cawley a throwing error on that because
no one home.
But no one home, I guess you don't throw the ball, right? But wasn't much he could do. And then the next batter, Joey Almeida, plunked in the back. So perhaps Dazzle, excuse me, a little shaken up.
And Dazzle, the lefty on lefty, not really crowding the plate at all. Yeah, just kind of snuck up on the batter. Never know where to go.
So that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Tommy Keys, who is the Cougar catcher. He played on the basketball team. Stolen base by Joey Almeida. So Bishop Conley coming out very aggressive. That has always been their style. It continues to be their style, certainly this afternoon. Up 1-0, top of the first, 1 down.
You talk about Keys and playing basketball, very athletic player in basketball court. We could see that. And Bishop Conley here early on showing athleticism on the diamond as well, moving runners along, stealing, taking some chances, bunting, and again, creating some offense, get ahead on the road.
Almeida taking a sizable lead, will take off for third. They've got him with a good throw. No, Almeida just a lot quicker than I thought. Steals third base. Stole that one off of the pitcher.
He really did. He had a great jump right behind, and it almost was as good as a pitch out where the ball was up high for the catcher right here. He's standing up ready to make the throw. No swing at the ball, so it wasn't a hit and run. If it was a hit and run, you'd want to protect your runner, but not the case.
Deep fly ball, left field. This one will result in a run, certainly, and a double for Tommy Keys. And Bishop Conley up by a 2-0 score.
Yeah, found the gap right there. Solid contact, really first solid contact of the game for Bishop Conley. Keys drives in the second run, the top of the first inning.
Brian Quinn, the left fielder, set to bat. Bishop Conley out to a strong start, 2-0 lead. really.
Ooh, that's solid hit, too.
That's solid. Keys will round third. He will score without a throw, and it's 3-0.
Yeah, Keys had a good look at that from second base. Play developing right in front of him. Great contact. No chance of a catch, so he's rounding third and headed home, challenging the left fielder to make the big play.
Yeah, too deep of a throw, and a wise move by by Tri-County to cut that one off. Ground ball should be an out at first. It will be. Robinson to Cauley, and there are 2 away.
Nice job by Robinson, though. Get in front of the ball. Just don't let the ball play you. Stay with it. Get the sure out. Maybe not thinking too right there. It looked like maybe an opportunity, but that ball was really softly hit, and that infield's really sucking up those
like Velcro.
Those dribblers, yeah.
And you look at it, it looks like it was cut fairly recently. Yeah. It's not long, it's just full. Oh, I
checked that one.
Just heard that they were actually mowed it this afternoon. They appealed whether or not there was a swing. And that's really a tough call for the umpire to make at second base.
Tough call. I think if he was at first, I think they would have given him a strike right there. But I like the fact they actually went to check in with the other umpire.
That is Tyler Lewis, the DH. He's a junior. Dalzell steps off the mound. Beautiful afternoon. Who would have thunk it?
Truly. As you approach the weekend, though, this is the kind of weather you want. Let's get the rain done Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
And as you mentioned, we desperately needed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, nice off-speed pitch. Great location outside.
2 balls, 1 strike, and there is where the checked swing, very important, because otherwise Lewis would be in the hole now at 1-2. Ground ball, I think that was off of his foot maybe. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, Robinson liked that high pitch right there, went after it. 2-2. Maybe come back with something outside here, challenge him. He's got to be protecting the plate.
No, seems to be having trouble with the off speed, so let's see. They throw something. And that's exactly what it is, and it's a pop-up. Second baseman having problems, drifts back, battling the sun, battling the wind as well. Just as that ball was hit, a big gust of wind blew out towards center field, and you could see Robinson struggle with that momentarily. So 3 runs for Bishop Conley on 3 hits. They had 1 man left on base, 1 Tri-County error, and we head to the bottom of the 1st inning.
See what Tri-County can get going here and get some support for the defense.
Yes, Tri-County team, Steve. It's amazing. You look at this roster. Nate Lagos, the shortstop, leads off. He's a sophomore. David Cauley, the first baseman, bats second. He's a sophomore. Andrew Robinson, the second baseman, bats third. He's a sophomore. Cleanup hitter Ray Jarvis, the DH. He's a sophomore.
Wow.
TJ Dalzell, who we've seen pitching, is a sophomore. RJ Kapala, the catcher, a junior. Brendan Cohen, the center fielder, a junior. Chris Guthrow, the third baseman, a junior. Nick White, the right fielder, is a sophomore, as is Jake Nicastro, the left fielder. The reserves, Chris Santos, a sophomore. Brad Hoderney, a sophomore. Brian Martinelli, a sophomore. And Chris Coates, a junior.
Yeah, that's unheard of. You just kind of missed 2 classes, except for what, 2 juniors?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sophomores.
3 juniors.
and 4 juniors.
4 juniors, sorry. Yeah,
that's amazing.
That is amazing. Hey, you know what? If the upperclassmen they don't choose to play during the spring as you get senioritis, maybe it might have something to do with that. And it's a great opportunity for these underclassmen to get out there and play.
Absolutely. And not sure how much talent is on this Tri-County team. Based on what we saw defensively, they've got some baseball players out there. And 2 years from now, when all of these sophomores are seniors, they're going to be tough to contend with in the Mayflower League. The leadoff hitter, Nate Lagos, flies out to center field. There's 1 down.
First pitch swinging. Nice job by the center fielder of Bishop Conley calling off his right fielder. Good communication in the field.
That'll bring up David Cawley, the first baseman, wears number 6. I could just repeat this all day, but he's a sophomore. Not a lot of parents in attendance. I count 2, 3. Someone snuck in on me. Check swing. Called for a strike.
Nice pitch right there. Challenging Cawley.
The pitcher, of course, Ian Chaney. Swing and a miss for Cawley. And the tag by the catcher, Tommy Keys.
Yeah, Keys did a nice job, and Cawley's really got to be more aware right there and recognize that third swing, and you catcher drops the ball, hustle down to first base. Maybe you have a throwing area, and you got to run it right first.
Sophomore Andrew Robinson, the second baseman, wears number 2. Trying to prevent a 1-2-3 inning. That one fouled over our heads. I noticed, Steve, you were smart, just like us. We parked as far away as we possibly could.
Absolutely. I remember coaching baseball, and you park as far away, especially where we are here. Then we get a parking lot. Nice job out there by that Chaney, the pitcher. 1, 2, 3, 2 strikeouts.
That is exactly the case. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base. 2 Ks for Chaney. And Bishop Conley, after the first inning, has a 3-0 lead at Tri-County.
Have you ever wondered how your town's government operates? Do you know how the local boards work? Inside Your Government on North TV answers those questions and more by taking a deeper look into the daily, weekly, and yearly workings of the people and boards that make up North Attleboro town government. From RTM to the State House, we cover it all. Inside Your Government on North TV's Community Channel Comcast 15 and Verizon 24, and on the Government Channel Comcast 98 and Verizon 23. North TV, bringing the community into your home.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Huh. Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back, everyone. Peter Gay, Steve Houle filling in for Del Malloy. Actually, Steve, you're filling in for me, I believe, a week from Tuesday. What would that be, the 22nd? Hopefully you're still available.
Week from Tuesday, the 22nd.
Bishop Ian versus North Attleboro. I am unavailable that afternoon.
I remember that there was that game. I couldn't remember the date, but I don't think that's a problem. If it is, I'll make other arrangements.
Well, if not, Del Malloy certainly up to the challenge.
Heads up.
That pitch fouled off. Well, that landed about 8 feet from me. That's not good. I never saw it.
That's tough to do from where we are, too. Actually, Tuesday, that's not a problem at all, Peter.
Mitchell Walsh, the third baseman, fouled that one off. Then hits a fly ball left field, and Castro settling underneath it. down on one knee, makes the catch.
Good solid contact, just got a little under the ball.
And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Jack Santoro, the second baseman. Tell you, some tall kids on this Bishop Conley team.
Was it the picture is
the pitcher, Dalzell.
Yeah, Dalzell, he's a big kid for a sophomore.
A little off balance. That one could be trouble. The shortstop drifting out makes a nice play. Lagos with the catch. There are 2 down.
Yeah, that's a nice play by the shortstop. He's Lego out there just covering more ground, and that's his area right beyond the third baseman and right in front of the left fielder. You're going to see where he comes from. Great job tracking it down, watching the ball. Secures it. See the pitcher's throwing strikes right now too. Make the defense work behind you.
Ian Chaney, who led off the game with a base hit, actually wasn't hit very well. A little dribbler on the infield grass toward third base. Then stole second. The next pitch stole third and scored on the errant throw. Now, I'll tell you, just a second ago it was hot. Now with that wind picking up and the sun behind a cloud, it's cold. New England in spring. I wish we could bring back that March weather.
I was going to say, unless it was March.
That one, I believe, will be in foul territory and out of play.
Now that looks like a short porch to left field there, doesn't it?
It is a short porch to right field, Steve.
I'm sorry, yeah, my other left.
Chaney, ground ball, fielded cleanly by Guthrow.
Nice
Throw on
play.
to first, Cawley. And a 1-2-3 second inning for the Tri-County Cougars, who certainly settled down that time in the field.
Yeah, I think just, again, throwing strikes and using your defense behind you. A couple nice plays, and see right here, get the ball secured. Strong throw across the diamond. 3 outs.
As I mentioned earlier, this is a very young Tri-County team. And you know, if they can play with a team like Bishop Conley, and I'm not saying this is going to end up being a close game, but you could see that inning that they do have that potential, and with that improvement 2 years from now, you could be looking at a Tri-County team that's one of the powerhouses.
I agree. You know, you talk about a team that gives up at home 3 runs in the first, and you come out in the second, you respond, and you say, okay, let's get some momentum back. Now, this is a big half inning for Tri-County offensively. You got your 4, 5, 6 coming up here, and you really want to make a little noise. And even if you don't score, you need to get somebody on base, make the pitcher uncomfortable, and see if you can get to Chaney a little bit.
It will be Ray Jarvis, TJ Dalzell, and RJ Kapala due up in the bottom of the second inning. Dust off the plate, and we are ready to go. So let's see if Ian Chaney can be as dominant in the bottom of the second as he was in the bottom of the first. Ground ball, first pitch swinging, Ray Jarvis. Throw off the bag, but getting his foot on the bag just in time was Mitchell. The throw from Mitchell Walsh to Kobe Mitchell. Off the mark, but in plenty of time for the out. Nice heads-up play by the first baseman.
Absolutely. Colby Mitchell done a good job. Get the ball secured and then go at the bag. Don't let that ball get by you. You'd be looking at 2 bags.
A lot of times you'll see especially a high school player, try to make a stretch that he's incapable of making.
Might be a nice looking play and you see him on Sports Center, but secure the ball.
Deep drive. Now it's over the fence. That will be a ground rule double. And I forget exactly where, but there is a marker. Oh, I see it now. There is a white post almost in dead center field. Anything to the right of that is a double, I do believe. And anything to the left of that is a home run. That one was impossible to catch.
I remember coaching a game we were playing at Somerset, and it was at a middle school in Somerset, and we had to stop the game for a little bit, and they had the buses come through because the kids were getting out of school. They had their own green monster to right field, and it was in a triangle. Nice bunt, lay it down, move the runner.
Chaney does a nice job getting off the mound, making the strong throw. So I'm not sure if that was intended to be a sacrifice bunt or whether or not R.J. Kapala. No, that was a bunt intended to be a base hit. So no sacrifice. Moving over to third on the play was Dalzell. That'll bring up Brendan Cohen, the center fielder.
Jeez, tough scorer.
No, he did not square.
No intent?
No. Well, he intended to bunt, but not with one out to move the runner along.
Yeah, typically with the one out, you're bunting for a base hit, not a sack.
It's actually a good bunt. Just needed to be a little bit closer to the third baseline. And was also unfortunate in the fact that Chaney, as a right-handed pitcher, that one fouled right at us. As a right-handed pitcher, Chaney grabbed the ball and was already facing towards first base, where a lefty would have had to spun around. Ground ball, this one will roll foul. So Cohen down in the count. Ian Chaney looking for his third strikeout of this game, first of this inning. Little off speed and bailing on the pitch was Cohen.
Yeah, Cohen won no part of that. A little off speed, a little curve. Maybe looked like he was coming at him, but just good enough to foul that off, stay alive. It's tough to stay in there when you have that off speed or that curve coming at you. It's a nice job coming back with the fastball, though. Chaney really making these Tri-County plays. Batters really think about it, and you don't want to be thinking too much when you're hitting.
Nice job there by Cohen fighting that one off. Ground ball. Second base, Santoro over to Mitchell, and the side is retired.
And give Cohen some